We're just gonna get a random NPC for the day.
We'll see what happens.
Okay, so Fizzle, give me a brief overview of what happened last session.
Okay. Last time after we dealt with strange cave with the strange jaw monster, the party kind of wanted to befriend specifically the monk, even though it was kind of pointless because we discovered it could not move. We took a rest and decided to go through the water on the other side to see what where the strange glow was coming from. On the other side, we discovered a somewhat disturbing tree that had some corpses littered around an old campsite. After a bit of investigating, Circaville disturbed one of the corpses, and a ghostly figure appeared that attacked us, along with a large swarm of bats. During that fight, the strange apparition kept saying, "Not the chosen one, not the chosen one," which we did not quite understand why, until the actual fight was over and managed to find some clues on the bodies that indicated that this tree was once a magical tree that held an apple of Eden, and one of the dead people was actually one of these chosen. This apple gave longevity to the person that partook in this apple. However, they also needed to, at the end of their lifespan, they would need to plant the tree again so the next person could benefit from this. That did not happen. The tree was cursed, and there was no magic, as Fizzle found out, left. We found a bunch of gold and some magical items in the campsite, and we divided that among the party members and took a short rest. That's where we ended.
Okay, yeah. You guys managed to find some useful, potentially useful items. Some things that were missed off last time that I forgot to mention that you also received.
Okay.
You received 2 identification papers under. I mean, they're quite smeared, so the names are unclear. But you have Tony. Give me a sec. Hold on.
From something that I did not mention because I didn't think it was important. The 2 names that were mentioned in a note we found was Simon and Tony.
Yeah. So
probably something similar.
Yeah. You have Simon Liffendale. And
Mammal 1 and Mammal 2.
Simon Liffendale, and you have Tony Tannerith.
Oh, it's not Tony the Great.
So
insert Frosted Flakes joke here.
Would they be could we? No, they're too old, so we couldn't actually use those identification.
I mean, they're quite brittle. The paper is splitted, but it is readable. And there's no date significance on this particular paperwork.
May I suggest something? May I suggest something as a player that, as a character, Zartlan would have no interest in, and that is seeing if anyone knows anything about those family.
I was gonna also suggest that as in character, I would ask, does anyone know?
You can go ahead and roll a history check, a general history check.
Okay, well, I'll attempt to do that then. History. Let's see what I roll. That's a 2. 9.
I have no clue.
No, I mean you've heard the name of Lithendale, but only from like a village's name, like like a passing farmland. But other than that, you can't grasp the individuals from this kind of paperwork. But there are
I
two.
got a 13.
Yeah, you get the same sort of information really.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean you have these two papers that are like identifiable um, pieces of documents that could potentially either be used to locate the individuals' homes if needed, um, or be used to pass as these individuals.
I'm like, to
I mean,
my knowledge,
it does
nobody of
say
importance.
the information on there is their names, their their um, their race type, and their profession. Past that, there's not much more on the paperwork. However,
What races were they?
they were both human.
Ugh, Humes. Humies.
So, does it say roughly where they lived?
No, but there is like a signet symbol in the corner that you know of to be the stamp of Leonis.
So they're from Leonis somewhere.
It's likely either that or that's where they had to travel to get the documents authorized or signed off, authenticated. But sparing some time for brevity, you managed to get a full rest, you and your team. You managed to collect your items. You managed to navigate your way out of the cave and begin your process through the forest once again. A few hours do pass. The road becomes a little bit narrower than you remember it being. On the way up to this cavern, go ahead and roll a perception check for me, all please.
This one then, though.
Oh joy!
Just as you kind of look over the horizon of this tree line and the mist sort of hovering just below the tips of the trees, Roland, actually, you do see something in the distance. A very large red kind of figure, a big toothy grin. It's probably 400 to 500 feet away from where you are, so it's quite a long ways away. Doesn't look in your direction, just seems to be stomping and trampling its way through the woods.
So is it a dragon?
No. You can go
Based
ahead
on-
and roll a another. Let's do a religion check.
Okay. Same diff.
Yeah,
20?
it's
I'm not even proficient in it.
this is a demon. It's a lesser
Oh.
demon, but it's a very large lesser demon.
I'm like, alright, I go, guys. There's a lesser demon up ahead.
Well, I would definitely like to not go head
And-
first into it.
From where you know, like the general direction of where things are, and like certain mountainous tops off in the distance, it's heading towards the villages and areas that you've come from.
Oh, I let them know where it's heading. And I'm like, besides, Artlam couldn't take it on anyways. It's a lesser demon.
If you mean that it's hardly worth my time, then you'd be right. That said, it is something that could be an issue later on if we leave it unmolested, so I suggest that we intercept it promptly and deal with it before it becomes aware of our presence.
Shall we attempt an ambush then?
As you're saying this, guys, this beast is huge, almost
Colossal?
like it's massive.
Oh. Right, how about we not fight this thing?
Well, if we don't, who will? The Holy Knights? They don't give a shit about the people.
Yeah, but if it attacks them, they won't have any other choice.
Besides, the Holy Knights are a joke.
Is it still heading in our direction as we're speaking?
No, it's heading away from us.
It's heading away from the direction that you would be intending on going, and it's kind of like it's in the middle area of where this woodland is, and it's just casually taking a stroll through the White Forest of the Forest of Dreams, and you know the general direction is probably Fort Salgals, which is currently where or before you left Bernia, that was the location that Gilfunder was based at.
I'm like, it's heading towards all the Holy Knights. Let's leave it alone. I can deal with them.
Seems somewhat reasonable.
I suppose an extra headache for them is something I can't complain about. Not to mention the effort it would take to catch up to it is not worth the satisfaction of putting it down.
However, should we use it as a guide out of this forest, it seems to be unconcerned and heading into a direction.
Do you want to head towards the fort?
I'm more concerned about where it came from. If we can cross its tracks and backtrack it, we might uncover something interesting.
Or more of the same. Could be just a vanguard of sorts.
All the better to be informed then.
Should we attempt to do that then?
Or a portal to the abyss.
I do not have any ways of dealing with a magical portal, to be honest. That would be more of a religious probably thing.
If there is such a portal, then it would need to be dealt with.
Can we really though? I do not have shame. I am ashamed to admit this, but I don't have the magical prowess to close a rift. No item I possess or magic I currently wield is capable of doing that. Best case scenario, we can just know where it is.
It could also just lead us to a cave.
Do keep in mind that even if we did find it, we're still gonna have to get out of this forest. And the way I see it, this creature is like a beacon to get out of here. We can easily trail it far behind.
Why are you so concerned with getting out of the forest? We came in here on purpose.
Well, that purpose would be to lose our pursuers. Pretty sure we already did. Now we need to get out.
Yes, but where it's heading is right where they are going back to.
They are going back, you say?
Well, it's where they're stationed.
It's
heading. Let me check them up.
Yeah, it's heading towards where they came from.
Question, DM. I'm getting confused right now.
Mm-hmm.
Is it coming from where we came, or is it coming from the other side of this forest?
It looks like it's coming from the opposite side, but
as you
look below the tree line, you can't see like the rest of its body. Like you can't make out if it's like done a big circle or if it's coming from. But in terms of the direction it's now facing, it's facing in the general direction of where Fort Salgals is. So you would consider or assume that it has come from the opposite side of the forest line.
So I assume right now following it might lead us out of the forest.
It will lead you out of the forest if you are able to track it. if you was able to track it, following it in its general direction would lead you back from where you've come. Generally,
So ignore it and pick a direction. What do you say?
Either that or find its tracks and go the way it came from, like Sartlam suggested,
Yeah,
which would
from
take us
in
in the
character.
opposite direction of the Holy Knights.
Yes, that was my question in character. Follow it or follow its tracks. However, if by any chance it is confused as much as we are, it might have gone in circles for quite some time and it just would be a waste of time.
Are you in a rush to be somewhere?
No, just trying to get out and trying to think of a way to get out.
I'm like, well, I can try and track it.
Should we try that?
We're just as likely to wander in circles going a different direction than we are trying to backtrack this thing. So
True
may
enough.
as well give Roland a chance to prove his.
Is anyone going to give me the help action or no?
Hold on.
Give
I
me
might
one-
have something to
give me
help.
1 sec,
Let me
guys.
see.
Roland, do better.
I haven't even rolled yet.
That's
Let me just-
Sartlam's version of the help action.
Oh, I've only got a +4 to it.
Hold on. Well, I got a +1, so... Let me see if I have a cantrip. Oh, wait, I don't have cantrip. What am I saying? Never mind.
No, you just give
I
a base
mean-
help action to give me advantage.
Well,
I mean, if you're so concerned, then Sartlam can do it with his -1 survival.
I can certainly try. Not very good at it, but I can try to help you.
No, by the help action, you just give me advantage.
Yeah, I know. I was just thinking of a way in character that I would be able to help. You know.
And I was joking that if you were so concerned that instead of giving help, Zartlam could take the lead.
Well, who never knows? Natural 20s are a thing.
So are natural zeros for Zartlam.
Yeah, sure enough. I'll try. If the DM will allow it, you know.
Just standing in the middle of a giant footprint. I have no idea where the track.
Meanwhile, the two of us are just shaking our head. He's standing in the middle of a footprint.
Passive perception of 11.
It's so much fun to play characters with low wisdom.
Yeah.
I only have a 10 wisdom.
I think I have a... Wait, what was mine? 11, 12? I got a 12.
I just got expertise in survival and nature.
Oh,
I got that for free, just from my archetype.
Scout, most likely.
Yep.
That is useful.
I actually made a scout recently.
Me too.
Oh, and also,
I like this scout. I'd never tried it before.
Same.
I made a character recently that has, I believe they have expertise between skills and tools. They have expertise in like 11 different things or something ridiculous.
Balls, how did that happen?
That's including the expertise gained from skill feats from the UA skill feats. That's what I'm.
Did not know there were so many.
Maybe multi-classed into Bard. Get some more
Plus,
expertise.
They
oh,
were
it's only...
they're a Warforged Scout Rogue,
Put the balls.
and they are an Envoy Warforged, which gives them expertise and an extra tool set. Then Rogue gives 4 more. Scout gives 2 more on top of that. And then the... Okay, so it wasn't 11, it was more like 9, but yeah, because they took 2 skills for skills that they already had proficiency in, so they then gained expertise.
okay, so what are you guys doing? What's your plan?
We are backtracking.
You go.
We are attempting to find the creature's tracks and then go backwards on those tracks with a Roland skills.
Sure.
And the goblin's going to assist me.
I'm going to attempt to assist him. I'm assuming this thing has pushed things over.
You would imagine so. I mean, as I say, it's about 500 feet from your current destination, so it's going to take you a little bit of walking through to navigate through the forest line again.
Yay! I rolled
So,
horrible. It's only 11.
As you descend back into the forest line, the fog begins to enshroud you, as it did previously.
Yep.
You would have disadvantage on.
So it's a 9.
Well, the 11 was still the first roll. Because advantage and disadvantage cancel each other.
Forgot about that.
Yep. Kind of hard at this stage. Might take a little bit more. Sort of maybe perhaps you think getting closer in that general direction might help.
Yeah, it's probably giant footprints, but I just can't find them in the mist.
Well, I'd still say. I mean, you've only sort of traveled a little way into the forest by this point. You've probably still got another 300, 400 feet of traveling. It's quite a ways away.
Well, at most, maybe another 50 feet and try again.
Like 100, 150 would be probably easier.
That risks getting sighted.
Yep. So you travel down this road that you kind of familiarize yourself with in terms of coming this way. However, it's a little bit different to how you remember it on the way up and through this line, and you do come across a split, and one road goes off to the left and one road goes off to the right.
Fun. Am I able to try and track it again?
You're gonna try again, yeah?
At normal, even with help, because of the disadvantage.
If you're having help, then it'd be in regular roll.
I am going to attempt to assist.
Alright, let's hope for something good. 22?
Pretty good.
Yeah, so the general direction is probably, in the way it's heading, is probably closer to the way on as you look at the path on your left hand side, and the way that it came from is probably closer to the right hand side.
Interesting.
You still don't see currently at this point any defining marks that this beast has come through this way.
I'm like, well, it came from the right side, so...
That sounds like the direction we want to go then.
Yep.
So we
head on the right side.
Backtrack its heels, or?
Yep.
Okay.
Okay.
He's like, I really wanted you to fight it. I'm like, no.
I'm not certain.
Dartland was fine with that idea, but you guys talked him out of it.
Could be something more interesting where it came from. Who knows? Oh.
Okay, darling.
Maybe
imagining
there's more of them.
I'm imagining those like red demons from Seven Deadly Sins.
Yeah,
probably
and that's exactly what it is. That's exactly what you see.
It's foot soldier.
Okay, so you travel down the right hand side once again, and you find yourself very familiar area to where you've been twice before, or it would appear twice before. It's exactly the same identifiable marks with the 3 options ahead of you.
By any chance, are there now footprints? Considering we're following this thing from where it came from?
Yeah, I mean, you see the area that you came from before with the swamp. It seems that the feet come out of that way. But you've already been that way, and you know that previously there wasn't any other way around. And then you also see footprints coming out of number 1. And it's almost like perhaps this demon wasn't quite sure which direction it was going.
Ew, so it has been walking around.
One of the I think it was the first time we were here, Zartlem did attempt to cut down a tree at one point. Can he try and find the tree in a similar spot and see if there's any marks from his...
The first time we did that, we found a mark on the top right, I believe it was, with a purple, I think. I forget the color, I need to check it. I think it was purple. On this tree about here. We can check for that if you want.
Yeah. You looking to see if it's still there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Zarlem specifically looking for the marks that he made to see if... Because that marking was already there when we got here. Yeah. Zarlem's trying to see if our impact is...
Sure.
Okay.
Go ahead and roll an investigation check to look for the marking again, because it's been a day or so since that occurred. So
that's a nat.
It takes you the good part of 30 minutes or so looking at this tree. You're absolutely sure this was the tree, and you, as you kind of rub your fingers over, and you can hear the huffs of your comrades getting a bit sort of impatient with your investigation. But no doubt you most certainly do brush over where your blade did make an impact, but it seems to have healed dramatically.
I will point that out to the others.
Oh, then I am assuming that Zartlan marked the second path we took.
Oh no, it was actually about here.
Oh, okay.
He was just kind of I attempted to roll religion to see which path we should go down, and rolled terribly. So I decided that his god told him that he needed to conquer a tree, so he started attacking.
And remember something.
I walk up to Zartlam. I'm like, don't forget, you have to conquer that tree.
Well, considering we've been on this path before, we kind of have either go back or use the third route.
I believe it was the route on the far right, number 1.
The one
that
we have not
is
taken.
the only one we haven't gone down. Since this does appear to be the same.
Yeah, that's where it was headed. So let's follow the tracks.
It seems to have passed through there as well, I believe. That's what I heard.
Yeah, so the footprints come out of 1 and out of 3, and kind of you see a series of prints kind of scattered about, but it's almost like they're unsure which way to go, kind of thing.
Well, let's take a look at what devastation. Yep.
Okay.
The one I originally wanted to travel. I wonder what it has destroyed.
So, as you travel down the road, could you each make a charisma check? Just a general charisma check, please.
Oh, shit. Not very charismatic, being as a, goblin.
I'm fairly charismatic as a paladin.
10.
I literally have an 11.
Don't think that could have gone any better. Okay. So, yes, darling, hold on, please. Let me just...
As we all get charmed by demons.
Oh, boy.
If only.
That would be a charisma saving throw if that were the case.
Fizzo is not really interested in, like pleasures of the body.
My check wouldn't have changed even if it was a saving throw, so...
Mine would have. Paladins are proficient in charisma saves.
Wait, do we have disadvantage or?
Not for the
Alright.
check. It's fine for the check. This
Okay.
particular check is fine. Everything else
Okay.
you may have, yeah. So hold on one moment.
It's hard to remember everything.
One, two,
Dangerous forest, I say.
I think the only skill that you won't have disadvantage in is stealth.
6,
I think I already have disadvantage in stealth.
8.
I know I do.
I know I don't.
So
I'll check my armor.
as you travel through, you hear like an echoing sort of voice. Get out! Get out! Get out! Get out! And it kind of shifts from all over you.
Oh, this is totally ominous and creepy.
Then you see a series of like 8 shadowed like forms just sort of surrounding you in all directions, and at first all you make out is this shadowy kind of form, and then you hear, "Who are you?" And then they step forward and you seem to be surrounded by many numbers of Zartlam. And to the point, you're not quite sure which one Zartlam actually is.
Hello. My name is Fizzo, and I am sort of a traveling merchant, and these are my friends, and they're accompanying me.
They kind of look at you and then look at each other, and they're like, "Why do you look at me? Why do you look like me? You're not me. I'm me."
Is this an illusion? Can I make an intelligence check?
You can try and make an intelligence check, yeah.
Disadvantage?
Indeed.
Roger. Because this is creepy. Like, what the balls? Disadvantage. Let's see what I get. 10.
Unsure.
This is strange. Anybody got any ideas?
Can Zartlam attempt something?
You can try to, yes.
He's gonna roar, "Enough of this!" and activate his conquering presence.
Okay.
So any creature aside from himself, Ronan and Roland, within 30 feet, well, I guess, and Cavell and anyone not specifically in the party within 30 feet will need to make a wisdom save or become frightened.
Okay.
I can actually just go ahead and post that.
This is weird.
Wisdom, I'll do it as a generic because what they are, so 17. What's the DC?
DC's only 13, we're low level.
Okay. They kind of all look at each other and like as you do your conquering presence, they all kind of mimic the action like separately, like one after the other, one after the other, one after the other, and they all kind of repeat this process for a little bit, and one's like, "You're not me, I'm me," and they're constantly like replicating Zartlam's voice as well as his actions, and it's like they all just suddenly stop, and then they all look at everyone else. Attack the imposter! Roll initiative.
Oh, shit! Click your thing.
Should I just
You only need to
click the one that?
Yeah, it
click
doesn't
the
matter.
one that I'm pretty sure.
They're all you, but yeah, they're all your tokens, so it doesn't matter which one you click on.
This is gonna be hard.
Oh, the next idea Zartlem had was to just start killing all of them. So I mean,
Question: did we have a short rest or a long rest in the cave? Because we were.
That was a
planning
long
on-
rest. That was a long rest.
oh, it was a long rest.
Yeah,
All right.
yeah. I think you
Okay.
decided you was going to rest up, and yeah.
We'd only decided on a short rest.
Okay.
So.
Yeah, pretty much. That's why I was asking.
We'll let it slide. It's a long rest. It's
Okay.
fine.
Okay.
So while they were still sleeping, I had 4 hours to kill us.
Kinda, yeah. Because you probably sleep 4 hours. We don't know that though. How do I even? Sorry for the delay.
I just transfer 4 hours, and then I'm bored.
Do we get disadvantage on initiative rolls?
You have disadvantage on everything currently.
So roll again.
Disadvantage initiatives is
But
Thing.
initiative you can't. I don't think you can really do disadvantage.
Yeah, you
on,
can.
but
You can do disadvantage. You just roll it. You
twice
can
a
either
week.
set it beforehand or roll a second time and take the lower roll.
Okay. So my initiative is 10.
Oh, are we getting disadvantage?
Oh, mine's gonna be a nat 1
That hurts.
from a 19. I will add.
Yeah.
Oh, yay, me too.
Come on, come on. How did that even?
I had 22, but now I have 5.
This is where it's gonna get interesting.
Shit.
So, Zartlan, which one do you believe that you are?
I will go ahead and put a marker on it.
Yep.
I thought it was like actually the character. Does he believe he is himself? I would say this one.
Okay, that's the one you think you are. Okay.
Yep.
That's fine. Good to know. Fizzle.
I
What do you
figured
do?
probably right in the middle.
You're surrounded.
Shit,
You're
I'm
surrounded
first.
by. You're surrounded by all these individuals. Not sure who's who.
You have no idea which one's the real
Circaval
Zartlan.
and Ronin are both just completely confused by what's going on, so they're just stunned, essentially.
Shit. If
Just
I
like your-
didn't.
Just out of curiosity, are they drawing duplicates of my greatsword or duplicates of my broken silver sword?
Everything looks identical.
Alright.
You can on your turn, if you choose to, you can try as an action to perceive which ones are a witch, like which ones are false, if that makes sense. But for the case of this particular encounter, you, Zartlam, are a particularly almost, yeah. You have to act a certain way for this particular encounter.
Yeah, you'd have to tell us who is. Well, like I have several ideas, but I got only one turn. And one of my question was, is it an action to do that, which you said, and it is a perception check. You said, right?
Yeah, if you want to try and perceive which one's real and which one's not.
That will usually go badly for me, so I'll apologize, Zartan, if I hit you, and I throw an explosion potion right here.
Okay.
That's it. Like I want to see reactions from these creatures.
As it hits 3 of them.
Yeah, it hits 3 of them. Well, let me just find it. Chemical fire. DC save of 15. Tech save.
Okay.
We know Zartlam's great at those.
I mean, I'm not terrible at them. I have a +1.
I wonder if they copied all your stats too.
That's a 16.
Oh! It saves.
Okay.
Pray that they didn't, because
Do you want to go ahead and roll a dex save as well, Zartlam?
Isn't he the one up there?
Well, you don't know.
Okay.
Don't take it's alright, obviously I'll see.
So it's another thing that's attached to this. Okay, it's fine.
Oh, there's loads of.
God damn it!
Well, I will roll it just in case.
Mm-hmm.
This is confusing. I hate confusing
Okay.
situations.
Thank you for the whisper as well. That's much appreciated.
I figured as much.
Yep. Okay. Good to know. So, Rolen, even. That's gonna confuse me.
I look around, confused, grab my rapier and stab
Which one?
this one.
Okay. Instead of you telling me which one you're going for, you can roll an attack at disadvantage.
Okay.
Did they show any reaction? Or did they just dodge out the way?
They kind of all just like jumped in a similar manner to what you've witnessed Zarlam do before.
Damn it.
Okay, and go ahead and roll damage for me, Roland.
So 12 piercing.
Okay.
13?
Okay, good to know.
What the fuck is happening?
Zarlam, go ahead and roll a perception for me.
Alrighty. That is a 6.
Okay.
Ooh.
So, Zartlam is not threatened by the mammals of this plane. However, he is now surrounded by fully trained and armed and armored Githyanki warriors.
Mm-hmm.
So, he's gonna start by casting an Armor of Agathis on himself to
Okay.
buff his defense.
Mm-hmm.
So that gives him 5 temporary hit points, and any melee strikes will retaliate with 5 cold damage as a layer of rime, frosty rime, covers his armor.
Okay.
Well, we know which one's the real Zertlam now.
They
Unless
probably all did it.
Unless they also did it, so...
They probably all did it.
With a perception roll of 6. Yeah. Is that all you do for your turn?
Most of my bonus actions are leveled spells, so, other than that, it's just readying his, greatsword.
Yeah, no worries. They all follow your actions.
Shit.
Fizzle.
Shit. Well, am I gonna... Can I, like, get my back against the tree?
You could try, yeah, sure.
I'm gonna attempt to walk next to the tree. Can I, and take the dodge action?
Okay.
I'm confused as all hell, and I'm gonna say, you know, we don't have to fight. Like, we can talk, right? I'm gonna take the dodge action, being slightly confused.
I just want to do one other thing because
Stuff,
they did
reasons.
that. So.
Oh,
should I
right, there's
get
a new
rid of-
talking.
Yeah. Okay.
Should I just delete all that?
And, if he says that, even the original Zartlam would just be like, "Oh, shut up, might makes right, and I know it full well." His initiative was 10, by the way.
Yeah, that's fine. Okay, Rolen.
Oh, it worked last time. Stabby, stabby.
Yes, so. That's the same thing twice.
18.
Okay, go ahead and roll your damage.
9 piercing.
Okay, good to know.
Did it actually get the spell off? Because if it did, I'd take 5 cold damage.
Sorry?
If it actually cast the spell, I'd take 5 cold damage.
Armor of Agathis.
Oh, okay, yeah. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, you do take the damage.
Shit.
No, sorry, you're... No, you don't. No, you don't.
All right, and then bonus action. I don't know.
Disengage.
Yeah, disengage. Do.
Okay.
Go over here by the trees and switch to my bow.
Okay. Zartlam, perception check, please.
Two.
Oh.
And go ahead and make your actions.
Zartlam's just going to step up to the nearest duplicate and take a swing at him.
Okay. Disadvantage, don't forget.
Yep.
Come on, you piece of worthless scrap metal work!
And that's
17 on the disadvantage.
Go ahead and roll your damage.
And I actually get to re-roll one of those d6s because I get to re-roll 1s and 2s.
damn. Damn.
So that becomes maximum damage at 17 points of slashing.
Okay, good to know.
However, the armor of Agathis negates my armor of Agathis.
No, you're fine.
Oh, I don't take the cold damage?
You don't.
Alright. Bonus action will be a Shield of Faith.
Okay. So they all jump around and they shift and they move. They all say, "Imposter, imposter, imposter," and they also swing at the closest people to them. They don't. So hold on, where are we?
Don't you hate it when you're dealing with a bunch of fake spaghetti?
A bunch of fake what now?
A bunch of fake spaghetti. They keep saying impasta.
Lol.
Oh.
Okay, so it's confusing.
Fizzle, 17 hits you, correct?
Yeah, it hits.
For 9 points of slashing damage.
Ow! Wait, disadvantage on the attack?
That was their attack.
But disadvantage because I dodge.
Oh, you dodged?
Dodge action. Disadvantage on attacks.
Okay. Yep, still 17.
God damn it! 9?
Yep, 9 points of slashing damage. And where are we?
My spells. Let's see what I can do.
Oh, also on the damage I dealt, Nick, if they do have my heavy armor master feat, it does get reduced by.
That's fine.
Just wanted to make sure that is clear.
Yeah, thank you very much. Roland, where are you?
Nowhere near them.
Where did you go? You're hidden behind
in the trees.
Suddenly the trees move.
Trees are like, we don't want to be part of this madness.
Yeah, pretty much.
Did you take the hide action?
No, I used my bonus action to disengage.
So does a 17 hit you?
Okay.
It would. If only. Yeah, it hits.
That's 9 points of slashing damage then.
Does it end its turn there?
Yes, it does.
Because as a reaction, I can, without provoking, I can move half my speed away from a target that ends its turn next to me.
Okay. And additionally, as they all end their turn, they also cast or seem to cast the same spell as Zartlam did before he ended his turn. but now it's kind of hard to distinguish which one was which.
Okay.
So, I move further in the trees.
Did the one next to me attack me, by the way?
Nope.
Shit.
Interesting.
I have. Okay. I'm gonna. Let's see.
Because it doesn't want to reveal who the real Zerlam is.
I'm just gonna check a fire potion right here. Gonna hit 3 of them.
Which ones?
Like here.
Yeah.
The next cluster.
So you want to try and here?
Yeah, I'm gonna try and hit them 3.
Okay.
What is my thing? They make another deck save. Do they get disadvantage on that save?
Oh, you don't know.
God damn it. Fire.
DC
That is
15.
DC 15. Yeah, but it's on repeat.
Okay. 2 sec, darling. Uh-oh, what?
He's stuck. We stuck.
Yes, you do roll with disadvantage,
We
Sartlan.
stuck.
Why is there a 11 on my
He's stuck.
something?
I don't know. Is that your perception?
Possibly. I usually put my spell slots there.
Oh, okay.
It's fine.
Wait a minute. Because I've now got a 3-year-old pretending that she's stuck to my
Daddy.
face.
It's like.
Stuck.
We're stuck together, are we?
Don't you super go.
You can be stuck on mine. If you want to.
If I want to be stuck to you, I can.
Tilly.
Quick, you need the super glue remover.
Yes, so that hits them all. So that's
Nice.
10 points of fire damage to all of us.
All of us. Also, I'm going to use my bonus action to cast Shield of Fate on myself, just in case, because ow! And let me see. How do I... There we go. Shield of Fate. That's giving my protection. I have concentration now, and I'm gonna use my speech to just say, Zadlam, how about using your head and stop attacking for a second? And then that's my turn.
Okay. Roland.
Bonus action, hide in the trees.
Okay.
Does stealth have disadvantage in the fog?
You have disadvantage because you are unaware if you're being stealthy or not.
13.
Okay, good to know.
And then I'm going to attack this guy with sharpshooter.
Okay.
Am I at disadvantage or normal?
Disadvantage. Well, it'd be normal because you're hiding, so yeah.
Come on,
That's
roll
why
hard.
I asked. 13 has hit before, so...
Go ahead and roll damage.
16 piercing and 7 sneak because I am hidden.
Okay, good to know.
Sneak has a different whatchamacallit. It's either advantage on the attack or neither is true.
Oh,
in case.
true.
So
but
just
he-
piercing.
But there's a reason why he's a disadvantage.
16 then.
Big cocky hug.
Okay. Hold on, I do need to track that actually. So that was from 19, 20 from the first one. So we won't do the sneak. 12, 21, 37. Okay. Zartlam, perception, please.
It's a 5.
It's
Okay.
better than last time.
What do you do?
Going to call back to oh, I'm blanking on his name.
Fizzle.
The goblin. Fizzle, yeah, that's it. Going to call back to Fizzle. Fine, but I don't think using my head's going to help here. And I will attempt to headbutt the.
I knew it! I knew it! I knew it! I knew that was coming! I just asked for it! Might be less damage.
Okay, go ahead and roll your damage.
And you know what? Just for fun, I'm going to pump a smite in.
Smite into the headbutt.
Okay.
It's pretty good, decent, and damage.
Yeah, no worries.
So 6 bludgeoning and 11 psychic.
No worries.
5 more psychic if they happen to be fiends or undead. But
No, that's fine. Okay, good to know.
We are not. Is that a bicycle?
I am at disadvantage on the perception checks, right?
Not just the ones that I'm asking for in terms of.
Oh, then that should have been a
it should
16
be
and
the
not a
16.
5.
No, that's fine. Okay.
I'm confused.
Still would have done the headbutt, but
Yeah.
because that was too perfect to pass up.
Yeah,
So that's
I
fine.
can ask for that one.
So yeah, you do that. Blah blah blah. Anything else?
Shake my head to clear it and ready my sword.
Okay. For their turn, they all shift about. The one near you starts jumping and like holding his head, going ow, 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 ow. The one by you, Fizzle, says, "When I'm done, heads will roll." And
Wait, what?
and the other few kind of like move around, and one of them's like that's being shot with the arrows, kind of like. And trying to yank it out a little bit.
Okay, what the hell?
Fizzle.
This is confusing. Right.
Eat fire!
Yeah, it's just that like there's only. So. This is weird. Well, I'm just gonna radio to whoever if something attacks me.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you just
So you're dodging?
Action.
No, I'm gonna hold my action to throw an acid flask if someone attacks me.
Okay.
Oh, okay. Well, bonus action hide, because it seems to work.
Maybe.
21 with disadvantage.
Okay.
Shoot the same guy with my arrow at normal.
Yep.
Sharpshooter. 17 should hit for 19 damage.
Nice.
That's pretty damn good.
Anything else?
No, I'm happy in my tree.
Okay. Go ahead, Zartlam.
Another perception check, I assume?
Yes, please.
Coming home.
In a bit.
Wow, these things have a lot of hit points.
Oh.
So there's a nice 0.
We were talking about it earlier. Now we can see it.
Okay. Yeah. What do you do?
Actually, you know what? I am going to use my Fortune's Grace to attempt to get rid of that nat 1.
Okay, good to know.
Oh, hi, come on.
Are
Are you kidding me?
Or not.
Are you kidding me right now? Hold on, let me get the real die. 1 second.
Yeah.
What was that? I think a 0 is a 0.
I believe this is spinnable. No?
That is.
Let's see.
So, unless you have something you want to do with that nat 1, Nick.
Well, what would Zartlam have done in terms of his attack?
I'm thinking that, like, he's surrounded. The last time he was surrounded by Githyanki was when his fellows were being slaughtered. So he's thinking, wait, maybe maybe I'm being haunted by their ghosts. So he's going to attempt to use divine sense to see if he is actually surrounded by.
Okay.
Reasonable enough.
Yeah, I mean, there's no sort of undeady essence or anything like that that appears to come off of these, but they all kind of do look at you, and you hear this kind of very Zartlamish kind of phrases coming from each one, apart from the one that was headbutted, who's still sort of hopping like in place, holding his head, going ow 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 ow.
They really don't like psychic damage.
Any bonus?
Bonus action is going to be to sheathe the great sword and switch to the broken silver sword, in the thought that maybe whatever these things are need a magic weapon to deal.
Okay, so you pull your sword out, your broken hilt, yeah?
Yep.
Okay, good to know. So, as you unsheath your broken blade and reveal it around to your surroundings, they all kind of go, "Hey, hey, no, you're no fun," and they all like begin to bounce away from you, and as they move further and further away, their forms begin to take shape of a different form.
I will attempt to stab the one that was next to me as it leaves, just for the record.
Oh, that would yeah, okay, imitation. Too many trees.
Far too many trees.
It's a forest, what do you expect?
And they begin to sort of bounce away from you. You can go ahead and roll your attack of opportunity if you wish.
What are these things?
I don't know. I can tell you what I assume out of character.
That's only a 13.
Yeah, you do miss. That's fine. So they kind of like all bounce away and disappear through the fog line ahead of you. You can kind of make out there seems to be some sort of structure in the distance. And you can hear a few sort of shouts in the distance as they bounce away. Give me a second, I'll get what they do.
Zartlam is not trained in Ninjutsu.
So what now?
It's the Japanese style of sword fighting in which you swing as you draw the sword.
Oh, Yaijutsu. I couldn't hear the word.
So they all bounce and run off, and you hear them saying, Lady Diane, the Holy Knights are here.
Shit. Not Holy Knights.
Okay, and as you pressing forward.
Oh no,
Oh,
Diane! Shit.
Zartlam definitely is. He.
Okay. So as
shit.
you push forward, you see these trickster imps surrounding a huge sleeping form in the mist.
Do we also
initiative?
At this time, you're currently in free action, so you can do what you need to. They're all kind of like pushing her and trying to rock her to wake up, and looking back at you occasionally.
Zartlam's just marching towards them.
Okay.
Can I keep a like 30 feet distance behind? Do we see this person?
Yeah, you can see this form back turned to you, like give me a sec. This kind
Alright,
of
I'm close
brownish,
enough.
long like hair. This pink kind of looking tunic, a very large warhammer.
Shit.
Yeah, the form begins to twitch and turn. You can hear the echoing of its like yawning as it's stretching awake.
Okay. We don't
as
see a
we-
face yet.
As we approach, Zartlan will pump 5 of his lay on hands to heal himself the fire damage he took.
Mhm. Okay.
Do you need?
So
Can I ask Zartan if he needs a heal?
No, I took care of it.
Okay.
this large form begins to sit up
I
and turn.
could use one.
You do see the face of this individual, as you would know. It's gonna do bloody token, not her. Don't want that to happen. Edit. Show players. You should be able to see her face in the journal, in NPCs, as this large female busty form begins to stand up.
Boing.
Like, very childlike in its actions, begins to wipe the sleep from its eyes as it progresses closer to you. Gives an almighty yawn. Looks down at you, Zartlam. I need you to make a dexterity saving throw.
Oh shit!
At
Alright.
disadvantage.
Yep.
And I was asking about healing earlier, but I'm talking about an actual heal, not like a Foga.
That is a net 1.
So this large hand comes down, grasps around you, and begins to lift you up closer.
Oh,
The
shit.
eyes you can see, still like waking, gives like an awkward like left to right blink, like not in time to kind of make her eyes adjust. It's like,
By any chance?
Knights, seems that you found me. Oh, whatever am I going to do? No, you can't take me.
Hold on! We are not knights. I don't know what you mean. You must be confused. Not lying. Look at me, tiny little person. Do I look like a knight to you?
You all look like knights to me. How can I trust you?
Let's talk about it and find out. How about that? Reasonable enough? We
And
just
she
want to
lifts
talk.
her foot up.
Besides
and
the fact that we've been
stamps
fighting
onto
the
the
Holy
ground.
Knight,
So she stamps onto the ground. I need you, Fizzle, as you're the closest there, to make a dexterity saving throw.
Disadvantage?
I just yell, we've been fighting the Holy Knights.
Don't I get a persuasion roll? And that's a natural one.
So the ground begins to shake from her slamming her foot to the ground. Yeah, okay, fine. You fall on your hind.
Take 1 point of damage.
Just seeing how much. It is
So
1
many
point
ones.
of damage. Yeah. So you take one point of bludgeoning damage as you kind of stumble and fall hard on your bottom.
Zartlan, say something to her. She seems the type you would be able to understand each other.
Those things stole my image. Put me down so I can teach them some proper respect.
Oh no, that doesn't help.
Okay.
And he's just staring straight ahead, not even attempting to struggle, just staring.
I don't really have.
Though from behind the helmet.
Okay. She looks at you and says, "No, they're my friends. You can't hurt them. They were only protecting me from you scum. The Holy Knight is... The Order is a ruse, a lie. And you will be
We're
punished."
not holy knights. We've been fighting them.
We did meet Gilthund. Well, we did fight Gilthunder's blade a few days back, if that helps.
Go ahead and roll me a persuasion check. A regular persuasion check, please, Roland.
Aw.
And,
Yeah, this is gonna go bad. 20!
Not bad.
Can I also ask for a regular charisma roll as well, please?
Yeah,
Just
sure.
a check. Just a check.
Oh, not bad.
18! Rolled 2 18s in a row!
Nice, okay. She leers her head closer to, like, in your direction. Gives you, like, this very cutesy smile.
Oh, shit.
It's like, "Oh, so you're not knights?
Nope!
Oh. Well, forgive me. I mean, you're so cute." And she lifts out her arm and reaches her index finger and tries to, like, nudge under your chin, Roland. And she places Zartlan back onto the ground.
I just let her do it.
You kind of, you know.
Zartlan immediately starts approaching one of the smaller creatures.
I just give her the charming, very
Zartlan, wait. Hold your anger for a few minutes. Come on. Stop. Just a few minutes. Let's see what happens. Come on.
Yeah, I just give her a big grin and a wink.
How did you come through the woods? How did you find me?
By luck.
Random luck.
This is the only path in the forest we haven't taken yet.
It was less luck and more process of elimination, really.
And she kind of leans down and, like, whispers something to the trickster imps, and they kind of bounce off into the fog and the tree line and disappear from sight.
I actually caress her arm.
Let's not get creepy now, okay?
Zartlan's just gonna glare after the imps.
You see one of them look back, like, just before they disappear, and looks back and just gives you the finger, and then, like, jumps. Okay, so yeah, she then's like, "Well, I apologize for the rudeness. I mean, I have been being tracked for months, and this was the only place that I seemed to be safe. The trickster imps assured me they would look after me, knowing my background. Oh, forgive me. I'm Diane."
I do a slight gentlemanly bow and go, "I'm rolling."
Question. By any chance, like, a person such as this would be probably, like, something of interest to someone? Maybe she's famous in any way?
And I say that in giant.
You can go ahead if you want to roll a history check.
Okay.
I introduced myself in giant, by the way, Nick.
Okay, good to know.
Disadvantage?
No, this is fine. The fog kind of sweeps in and out, so I'll say for now it's regular.
That's 15, eh?
Yeah. You've heard of a female giant that was part of the Holy Knight Order. But that was before you left. Sorry, after you left.
Uh-huh. I'm gonna keep quiet about it because I don't know any details.
Mm-hmm. So I heard you say that you are on the run for Gil Thunder, or being chased by Gil Thunder.
Yeah, because we killed his sword.
The true Holy Knights vanished the same night the king died. All that remains are pretenders.
Not too familiar with it, but I would say I agree with that statement.
So you know of the betrayers.
We have some knowledge of them, so they
Yes.
called at least.
I'd have to agree. I myself was curious, and I would say my curiosity led me to being on the run. I recently found out a secret, perhaps some information I wasn't meant to learn, and
You mean the true betrayers, the people that run the country? Yeah.
well, I was witness to a secret meeting. One of the Grand Masters, I'm sure, was having a liaised meeting with a dark hooded figure back in Leones, and after hearing them talk, I got shocked, and as I walked away, I accidentally knocked over a vase, alerting them to my presence. And when the Grand Master realized, the kingdom was ordered to stop me and give me no choice to flee.
Fascinating as that all is, the Holy Knights aren't really my concern.
You have a mission regarding the Holy Knights?
Yeah. Get rid of them.
If
I have a-
possible.
Or perhaps I can trust you, or at least this one, and strokes you again, Roland.
I just stroke her back.
Okay.
I don't care. I'm enjoying the attention.
This meeting I overheard. Perhaps the details may assist you in anything you may need. So perhaps I can share this information with you. You seem trustworthy for now.
I
I
just
suppose
smile.
more information is never a bad thing.
Well, the conversation I heard was about secret experiments regarding the apprentice knights to try and imbue them or increase their powers by using unsanctioned methods. I also overheard them talking about an artifact that they retrieved from an excommunicated knight like myself turned rebel by the name of Ban. I think they'd received some sort of shard or something, silver, or I'm unsure. But
What happened to it?
Well, along with Ban, I believe that they were discussing the artifact was held in a vault in the same location. Also, that Ban had not given up any information to why he had this relic or artifact to begin with, but it seemed to have an element of importance.
The location. Where is it?
Don't need to be so brash.
I don't know. All I know is that Ban was taken to a dungeon of sorts, perhaps the one that's outside Delamere town, but only rebels would know more. I do know of a rebel group within Delamere town, I'm sure of their names, though. I think they call themselves the Fist Hissers or the Grasping Hand or something like that. I'm unsure.
Do we have
Would you like to join us in our quest?
Go ahead and roll a charisma check with advantage.
having a
charisma
giant
check with what?
Sorry, it'd be a persuasion check with advantage.
Persuasion with advantage?
Yep.
Okay. 22 crit!
Okay. She sort of smiles and like tilts her head, flicks her hair back behind her ear. Says, well, I can at least assist you on a way out and getting to Delamere. After that, I'm not entirely sure I'd be much use.
Someone as strong and beautiful as you're always of use.
I have a tendency to stand out, and not everyone judges me the same way, and I wouldn't
And
want
I
to cause...
totally say it in giant.
I wouldn't want to cause any issues regarding attention that may come your way with me traveling with you. I am, of course, a fleeing fugitive, as I say, and I have myself to consider as well as the freedom of the kingdom.
Yeah, the kingdom fell when the king died.
Is Delamere town? Which direction is it?
Through the other side of the woods, a few days' walk, I believe. It's a rather large town.
Although I can tell you that the princess escaped the castle.
Really?
Yeah,
Princess
she was
Leona?
at this. She was at a pub where this pig cleaned up meat pie. I think it was run by a Meliodas.
Is she safe?
Last I saw, yes, we saved her from kidnapping attempt.
Well, if I can perhaps assist the princess, then that's part of a duty I can fulfill. Where was she last?
At the bar that Meliodas runs.
Any idea on location? I'm familiar with Meliodas.
Well, last time I saw it, where was it? What's the name of that town again? Does anyone remember?
Zartlam's completely ignoring this part of the conversation.
I think it was his Artlam. What's the name of that place with that pie you like?
Completely ignoring Roland, he'll turn to the giantess and ask, "This band, have you heard anything else about it? Or her, or them?"
I know he's a he, quite meticulous and quite capable of looking after himself. Unfortunately, it would appear that in this instance he got himself caught. There was speaks about a rebel group that I don't know what he was to the group, but as I say, I'm sure it's something like the Fist Hissers or the Grasping Hand or something. As I say, I'm not entirely sure, but there's a presence of this rebel group, or at least knowledge of them within Delamere.
So, Nick, I'm totally blanking, but my character would know the name and where the area.
It was Kane, just outside Kane's village, and the tavern was known as the Whole Hog.
Yeah, I mentioned that.
She acknowledges it and takes that as a mental note. So, she gives you this information. I mean, the amount of time that you've been now directing yourself through this forest, it has become dark once again.
Will she escort us to the exit in the morning to the police?
Yeah, I can most certainly help get you to Dal Mary.
Cool.
If that helps.
I pull out our new fancy tent and set it up.
Okay. How are you doing this?
There were specifics in setting up the
There
tent.
was exactly.
You asked for the tent now, you deal with it.
Zartlam's just gonna sit against one of these pillars and
We've camped without a tent before, I can do it again.
probably not actually sleep, at least not for a while, just kind of brood in a resting.
Well, you could take first watch.
I throw it and go, circus! And in a child sense of wonder.
Okay.
To turn it into a circus tent.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So you set up your circus tent. Any kind of descriptive to how you'd like it to look inside? Remembering that everything made within it is made of cushions and.
Yeah, there's this like cushion cage with like a cushion elephant in there and a bunch of wonders and stuff. There's a bearded lady in there, a stuffed bearded lady.
Okay.
That has like a stuffed fortune ball. It's just like a whole bunch of like circus freak attractions in there that are all stuffed.
But is there a crocheted cannon that shoots pillows?
Yes, there is. Yes, there is.
They don't shoot far, but
it shoots midget stuffed people. If it's anything weird or wonder that's ever been in a circus,
I don't know about wonder, but weird definitely. So, we're taking a long rest again? Like after, what's it, a day?
It would appear that way.
Okay.
Well, it is nighttime.
Okay.
Oh.
It's not wise to travel through night. I go and I let her know that we noticed a lesser demon heading to the fort where Githander is. So
it's not really like, oh, there's a demon, and it's more like a conversation usually when you mention demon.
Well, I'll inform her of that before I go to bed.
She kind of just looks like eyes wide, like complete shock that this wasn't mentioned earlier, kind of thing. But it's just like, okay.
I'm like, well, and then we're more like trying to talk you out of killing us because we're not holy knights. And I figured it's going to attack the holy knights. That's fine with me.
Kind of just picks you up both hands and just gives you like a really like close embrace, like almost like hug. I mean, you're completely embedded in breast currently.
Bosom.
I'm enjoying the pillow and just hug her back.
Okay, so
hey, my character's single. He doesn't care.
Nightfall ensuades, and you manage to.
He's single. He's single and 230 years old.
About time for children.
However, the night seems to go go by relatively easy without any disruptions, and as you begin to pack away for the following day, I do need you all to make perception checks for me.
With disadvantage or normal?
Disadvantage as the smoke comes back through.
Perception, let's go. Almost.
Well, I really liked my first roll, but it's a 4.
Ooh. Well, it's better than us.
Okay.
A 4, a 3, and a 6.
So you're busy packing and arranging your belongings. Hold on.
Whoops.
Sarlam got the highest perception, not because he's perceptive, but just because he didn't really have anything to pack.
All I really had to pack was the tent.
It packs itself, probably.
Well, I mean, I had to put it back in my knapsack.
Like, unless you sleep in your armor.
So, I need all of you to
My
make...
studded leather armor that doesn't take me long to put on.
I need you all to make dexterity saving throws.
Shit.
With disadvantage?
With disadvantage.
Hey, I missed a natural 20. Damn it!
I fail.
Okay.
Got a 19, though.
I'm gonna go ahead and use my Pop My Fortune's Grace for that.
Okay.
Le pop. Oh.
Nope, didn't help.
Okay. So, both Zartlan, well, pretty much everyone other than you, Fizzle, which is probably not a good thing, but nonetheless, you are, you see your friends now become enshrouded, and they all tense up, and you see like this electric blue, like sparkle, like lightning, electricity off their bodies as they are enabled, and you see move out of the fog line and walk towards the group a individual wearing fine armor with almost like a peach salmon color hair, bright piercing blue eyes, an electrified blade.
Who could that be?
Yay, it's Cassander.
And he says, walking in your direction, looking at you all, Atropos. I thought it was you. It would seem we meet at last, Legion. Atropos, did you think I wouldn't know you were responsible for pulling my sword from Bernia?
Who's he looking at?
It's hard to tell.
Shit!
Do you know why we are after you?
Those of us who can't move or those of us who failed the dex save, like, are basically paralyzed, right?
Pretty much, yeah. Yeah, you can talk, but it'll be really restricted.
Zartlam's going to attempt to brute force move at least enough to get his hand towards his weapon.
Hold on, monologue is happening. Give him a second.
Give me a sec, hold on.
I don't even know who pulled the sword because I missed that part.
It was all of us combined, pretty much. I didn't help much except tell you what it was, but still, it was all of us trying together. Hence, it's really confusing who he's talking to.
As far as I knew, I had no part of it, so...
Yeah, you were passed out drunk, true enough. I think. Not sure. No?
Because I didn't show up until after the sword was drawn and the fight scene was going on. And I was in the bar.
No, that was before the bar. It was when we arrived, pretty much.
I'll find out when Nick gets back. I can't remember. I don't know what you guys had me doing. Because I was late that day.
No, that's about it. Like several people, we did a bunch of stuff trying to pull out the sword, and finally we managed to do it, and the sword flew off. Don't need to concern yourself with too much detail. That's what it does. And then it returned, and we fought it. Damn, kill thunder.
Okay. Oh, there it is.
Welcome back, Nick.
Thank you.
Hello.
So,
Was I part of the person that pulled the sword, out of curiosity?
no, you and Orion were very, very drunk.
Lagging behind.
I believe it was mainly Zartlim, Cavell, and Ronan.
Okay. I just look confused.
So, any words? I mean, for you, Zartlam, you know who this is.
Yep.
Some of you may assume who it is by his abilities. As Roland wouldn't know because he wasn't part of that encounter, but he was too busy being drunk behind a crate.
Yeah. Zartlim is attempting to move enough to get his hand towards the hilt of his sword.
Go ahead and roll me. Oh, is that, yeah. Go ahead and roll me another sort of dex save to see if. Oh no, let's do athletics just to sort of see how strong your will is to go by that.
This still at disadvantage?
Yes, it would be. Not that it stacks, but you would have been at double disadvantage.
Yeah. So 12.
Okay. Yeah, you kind of wriggle, but you just can't seem to quite get there. And he moves forward again, and
Zratras would be ashamed to find his son had grown up to be so blind.
You know why we're after you. You're rebels, traitors. For me, personally, it's about revenge and eradication of betrayers.
I chuckle at this point and go, the only real traitors are the ones that try to run the country.
Gives you like a side glare, like twitches his hand stiffly.
Gil Thunder.
Does a 16 hit you, Roland?
Yeah.
You take 13 points of lightning damage.
Well, there's half my health.
He looks at you all again.
Gil Thunder. You should know as well as I that words are hollow. Actions speak louder than anything.
If it's actions you want, actions you'll get. And he tenses his fist around his blade. And does a 19 hit you?
Yes, it does.
For 24 points of lightning.
Zartlim grunts and then pushes on, saying, "Have the holy knights acted very holy of late in your eyes?"
Oh, God. you've got no right to judge. You're all murderers, killers, traitors, betrayers of the lands. Where's Elizabeth? And he tenses his hand again to the side. Does hold on. Does a 17 hit you, Fizzle?
Oh, was that at me?
Yep.
17.
Yep.
17 is above my armor.
Okay.
Did not expect to be attacked, sorry. I was a bit preoccupied. My boss is typing to me. Sorry about that.
You take 21 points of lightning damage.
And that hurts a lot.
I
I'm
just
like,
go.
I'm the only one who's not restrained right now, right?
Yep.
God damn it. Not much I can do.
I go somewhere safe.
The kingdom want her back in protective custody. To me, she is nothing more than a grain of sand on the road that is being travelled. I am stronger now than any of the holy knights.
That's true.
That may be true, Gilthunder. For the moment.
And with an almighty crackle, you see Diane's form just smash out of this lightning force. She bounds forward and with an almighty punt, she kicks Gilthunder. With an almighty crash, this whole lightning just spashes this whole environment, and you see Gilthunder's form vanish as it just shoots into the distance of the skies.
I think we should run.
He talks too much. Come,
That
we must
always
flee.
was his problem.
And she kind of turns to bound, and she bounds to the open space and the road behind where this forest is.
Am I able to move yet?
Yeah, just as the attack, as Diane kicked Gilthunder, this lightning field that seemed to be restricted you kind of releases.
I look at Alchemist and go, do you have that healing potion?
Oh, yeah, sure. We kind of need to keep moving, though. I'll make it on the way out of here. Let's go. Come on. I'm going to make some potions on the way. Anyone who needs, just pass by me. Who needs healing? 2, 3, how many do I need to make?
All three of us.
Dang. Oh,
we all took that lightning damage.
Yeah. That is the first one. He can take 10 points, whoever that is. I believe you're the closest one to me, Ronin. Not Ronin,
yeah.
Roland. Confusing.
I will take the 10.
Zafran, I believe you need some as well. Come here.
Yep.
And here is a... whoa! It's a 14.
Nice.
And
I'll go and lay 10 lay on hands on top of that into myself to bring me back to full.
I'm gonna do some healing on myself. That's another 10 to me.
I'm now at 23 and 26. Yay!
And 60% HP. It's pretty damn good.
I'm like, oh.
That was not fun.
If only I was at my prime.
I'll tell you all this now. I'm headed to Dalmary Town, and Gilthunder will follow me.
Aren't we all going there?
If you don't want to deal with him again, I'd suggest you find a different destination.
What? Who's that then? Dion?
But aren't we supposed to free Ban?
If you wish to.
And hearing you say this, Dan says, I would advise that if you have that as a plan, that you speak to these rebels in Dalamary, that I would imagine they have connections.
Was Gilthander always like that?
You mean more prone to think, more prone to act before he thinks? Yes, that sounds about right.
Probably.
Wow, how the Holy Knights have fallen.
The problem is that when one gets overzealous, they're easily manipulated.
Well, power, corruption, lots of power, lots of corruption, I say.
Don't make the mistake of thinking that every member of the Holy Knights is corrupt. Likely it's only those at the very top. The rest are just following orders, but that also means that they're prepared for what comes with following those orders.
Well, foot
Or at
soldiers
least they should be.
are good at one thing: following orders. So
Oh, I
doesn't
thought you were
really
going to say
matter.
dying.
No, following orders. If the people that give them a order that is unthought out or plain stupid, that could result in their death. Yes, it's in the job description. They are foot soldiers. They're good at following orders.
It might be a bit late, DM, but if not, can I go and roll an insight check to see if Zartlim could tell whether Gilthunder believed what he was saying or whether he was just spouting
Wasn't he?
You can go ahead and roll it. Yeah.
What I didn't understand it, was it like Guild Thunder? Because the description sounded like him, but was it like a projection? Felt physical when she kicked him.
It would have been physical, yeah. As far as you would have known, that sort of power could only be generated as close to either Gilthunder's weapon or Gilthunder.
So, only a 13 on that.
Yeah, it was kind of hard. I mean, there was a lot going on, and the mist sort of rolling through was kind of hard to really grasp any real comprehension whether or not this was Gilthunder's will or his influence, or if there was other things in play. But some of the words did kind of cut true. As far as anyone that was naive to what had happened.
The only question that really remains is whether he is one of the corrupt or just being manipulated by those that are. Although, in the end, it makes a little difference if we have to face him.
So, as you progress through the trees and the pathway with Diane, you do see like a few broken trees that seem to kind of, as you look, you can kind of see like part of the sap almost like moving and like latching onto like broken stems of these trees, and you can kind of see them trying to fuse themselves back together. It's a slow process, but you can kind of see it happening as you look through the trees as you move through, and you kind of come to this big break, and there's a vast open field of hills, and you see probably 100 foot away that there's a road that begins once again, and you can see that there are an almost semi-constant flow of merchants or travelers that seem to be walking this road between this sort of space, and you see further down that there is like a walled structure that seems to have a series of like, you can see in the distance, it's almost like looking at ants, but you can see a series of what you know in terms of colors to be either city guard or crown guard doing inspections and patrols around this environment. And you can see again this kind of turnpike kind of checking point into Dalamari. Go ahead and roll perception now. Regular perception. You are no longer in the woods, in the forest.
Everybody?
Everybody dance now. Bow, bow, bow.
Don't worry, we don't need disadvantage.
Zartlam, your belly like starts to grumble a little bit, and you look into the distance off of Dalmari town, and you can see in this open field, you see the whole hog.
I let Diana know the whole hog is there.
And it's to begin with. Well, first of all, Roland, you wouldn't see this because your perception's too low. But it's almost like, to begin with, it's almost like it's a mirage to you, Zartlam. It's like, perhaps my stomach's like playing tricks on me, and that's kind of...
The thing about that is, coming from the astral plane, having locations move around is not something that would be new to Zartlam.
Then I probably would have knowledge that there is possibility. I have knowledge of obviously magic that it can do that, but I wouldn't know that he possibly has possession of such.
So for Zartlam, it would just be like, "Oh, good, we got lucky."
It would
just be
interesting.
Can you let us know about it being there?
Zartlam's just gonna say, as his stomach grumbles, we should probably find somewhere outside of town to get a proper night's sleep and some food before we decide how to make.
Hope we have good chances of finding one of those places.
Oh, don't worry, there's one up ahead.
Oh!
And he'll start moving towards it without bothering to point out which one it is.
Yeah, I mean, even from your location and being able to see it, it does take you a good sort of 40 minutes to walk there and sort of trumble through this like hilly environment. But yeah, you managed to get to the door of this very familiar tavern, labelled and hanging with the sign, The Whole Hog. And as you enter, you do recognize Hector, Meliodas, and Elizabeth.
Well,
and Zartlam's gonna sit down and order a meat pie without thinking anything is out of the ordinary.
So, guys, I will end it there, because if I carry on too much further, then there's going to be even more complications, because there's a lot to do and a big sort of opening story leak. So I don't want to go too far without the others.
Yep, that makes sense.
Okay.
That's fine.
However,
did Diane follow us here?
Diane is outside. Unfortunately, she's extremely large and unable to fit inside the building. But
I let her know that this is the place.
Sure.
She probably knows that.
You also are able to rest here, and that is your milestone. You are now able to level up.
Level 5?
Level 5!
Oh my god! Let's see what I get.
You know, I should be more excited about that, but I'm more excited about finally getting my first lead.
First what now?
About a sword piece.
Piece of my sword.
I couldn't hear it cut out.
You've seen the series, haven't you?
Who, me? Yeah.
Any of you?
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, I've seen season 1.
Yeah. So, a very light version, relaxed on environment on now, I think, episode 4? Maybe? I don't even know.
Like on the second episode, they was like, there is an armor at the door. I'm like, second. And yeah, I do believe Diana was found I just remembered that because I watched it like years ago, that she was found in the forest.
Indeed.
Like some weird magic there. But I haven't watched it for years, and hence not to spoil anything for myself, I haven't rewatched it.
In terms of like what I've done so far with it, how do you think it's going?
Oh, I'm loving it so far. It's had enough choice that it doesn't feel like we're being railroaded, but it still holds true enough to the main storyline that it's wrecking.
Cool.
And also there's secrets.
Yeah, there are secrets.
And I'm being bothered constantly by my boss, so I couldn't pay attention as much as I wanted to. God damn it!
You wait until Zartlam does find his piece of shard.
Shit.
3d6 sneak attack damage now.
Nice.
I get like.
And I also get uncanny dodge, which is gonna come in
I've still
handy.
got to work
Uncanny
on
dodge!
like a decent arc line that fits Fizzle's perspective and abilities. I'm just trying to think out of them all who suits it best.
Wait, what was the question?
Like out of the 7 deadly sins and their abilities as well as their
I gotta think
weapons,
about
and
that.
I'm just like, who fits? Because
Pig.
currently for me at the moment, Zartlam is the most like Meliodas, although he's very like Escanor as well. So there's some things, but then like
I mean, with Meliodas, it's mostly just the broken sword.
yeah,
And the full counter?
Roland and Orion were both very. To me, they were between Ban and Merlin. So it's like, how do I work around that?
Well, I'm the most indirect fighter, and the one with the most arcane knowledge. So yeah, maybe Merlin's a better fit for me. Don't know.
Perhaps we will see.
I don't remember anyone else except maybe what was the goat's name?
The girl.
The goat. The goat.
Oh, the goat
the other,
sin
the
was
sin of sloth. I forget.
King. You've got King, Ban, Meliodas.
King does transform his weapon and has magical. That's a possibility.
Well, I would have thought King fits a monk profile a little bit better.
Okay.
Because of his weapon type.
I have to step away for a moment, but I'll be right back.
Okay.
But yeah. So
Level 1.